Okay, we are going to start the second number discussion. So, as usual, Chandrika is ready with the written questions. We'll start the session with written questions.
Avasara Bante, we've received 3 reports today.
Right.
Theruvan Saranai Bante, can you please explain how to achieve Samma Samadhi, within brackets Samma Samadhi, Upachara Samadhi, etc., without practicing jhana, and how it can connect to Vipassana? If possible, kindly mention relevant Sutta Pitaka as well.
Yeah, this is a debating question actually. So, what is really Samma Samadhi? So, the concentration, as you know, is very much at different levels, at different depths. And I will pass you one interesting article written by Venerable Bhikkhu Analayo. He has done a comprehensive analysis on this particular subject. So, what is the history of what we call this jhana and this particularly the concentration aspect? And he has done a fairly reasonable analysis, comprehensive analysis. It's a very good article. That's what actually I discussed with when Ajahn Brahmali was here. That's what I wanted to discuss with him, and I passed that document to him also. It's a fairly interesting article. He has done a kind of a comparison between not only the Pali canon, he has done a kind of a comparative analysis between Pali canon as well as the various other sources. You know that like we have the Pali canon, so there are the Chinese also have their canon called Chinese Agama, and similarly there is another Tantrayana books are also there in Tibetan tradition. So likewise different traditions are there, Buddhist lineages are there, and so Venerable Bhikkhu Analayo has done a very nice analysis, comparison between all these different traditions, and he wanted to, so basically whatever the sources that is talking about the Samadhi, he has coming out kind of a comparison with what is mentioned in here, what is mentioned here, what is mentioned here, so likewise. So I'll pass that document, whoever is interested, please let me know, then I can give that article. I have the soft copy. So basically according to that article, so one thing is that before the Buddha there are jhanic practice. So there are higher concentration levels that people have achieved jhana. So as you all know that certain Buddhist sources like when Prince Siddhartha was born, King Suddhodana's teacher, Asita Tapasa. So he seems to be a highly achieved person with some jhana, with some abhinya, all that qualities were with him. And that is one source. And then when Prince Siddhartha renunciated, he arrived when this Alakaramaputta. So he actually taught him the third Arupa Jhana, Akinchanyayatana, nothingness. That indicates that the society had the deep jhana, even the Arupa Jhana. And next he went to Uddakaramaputta. He mentioned, or he taught him the last one, Neva Sanya Nasanyayatana, neither perception nor non-perception. So that also was there. Mainly the wrong belief is that they consider that as a nibbana. They consider that as the end, that as the complete emancipation. But the Bodhisattva understood that this is not the nibbana, this is not the end. This is a kind of a temporary achievement. Even though you are able to achieve it, ultimately you have to come back. So this is not the kind of complete freedom from the samsara, complete freedom from the suffering. Rather, it's a kind of a temporary achievement. So, in one sense, so Buddha also anyway included jhana into the practice. So he has taken it certain good aspects, because when one attains jhana, so he has to let go of fair amount of sensual desires, and all the 5 hindrances are to be abandoned in order for one to attain jhana. So a fair amount of letting go is involved. So fair amount of letting go is involved when one attains jhana. On the other hand, that's again a temporary type of achievement, And if you read Majjhima Nikaya Salleka Sutta, so Buddha give a series of warnings telling, don't think by attaining jhana that you are able to overcome defilements. So Salleka, the term Salleka he repeatedly used there, telling that starting with the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, and leading on to all the 4 arupa jhana, he particularly mentioned, so all those are good, all those are giving you some temporary satisfaction. But don't think it will give you the eradication or weakening of the defilements. So that is one side. And then on the other hand, certain suttas like Attaka Nagara Sutta. So they are, Venerable Ananda is giving a kind of a detailed explanation that after reaching first jhana, one can emerge from that and then recognize all the different available maybe jhana factors, whatever the available cetasikas, available states, feelings, perceptions, etc. at that moment, and you can recognize them and see how they are arising and passing away. So that can be another entry for Vipassana. So you need to emerge from first jhana and then you can use that state as a ground level to start your Vipassana. Similarly, the second jhana, the third jhana, fourth, etc., all the 8 jhanas are mentioned there, I think, except the last one. So basically the idea is one can attain it and then emerge from it, and then you need to contemplate what are the qualities right now available at the mental level, what are the feelings, what are the perceptions, what are those subtle levels of cetasikas, and that is what one has to do a Vipassana. Accordingly, you are diverting your attention to Vipassana, understanding impermanent nature of that, unsatisfactory nature of that. The jhana itself is conditioned, it is not unconditioned. So understanding its non-self nature. So all that Vipassana aspects now one has to develop. And on the other hand, you can refer another sutta available in Majjhima Nikaya. It is called Mahachattārisika Sutta. So there Buddha give a very beautiful analysis, and how he defines Samma Samadhi there is quite different. So he mentioned all the path factors, Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vaca, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayama, Samma Sati. And then he mentioned all those 7 path factors have to come to a very interesting or very well balanced equilibrium, equipoise of the mind. Then it is called Samma Samadhi. So Samma Samadhi represents in that sense a well balanced mind, where all the path factors are, all the previous path factors are well aligned, well balanced. So your mind is now in a good equilibrium. So Samma Samadhi is defined in that manner. And certain other places are there where Samma Samadhi is defined as 4 jhanas. Like, say for example, in the Maha Satipatthana Sutta, available in the Digha Nikaya. So there the Samma Samadhi is defined as the achievement of 4 jhanas. If you refer, there's another sutta, few suttas are there where Venerable Sariputta giving an analysis of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Can't remember the name of that sutta. So there also he refers Samma Samadhi as the 4 jhana. But Venerable Analyo give a kind of a fair explanation that this can be a later addition. This can be a later addition to the book, because if you consider certain other sources, say for example Mahasatipatthana Sutta available in Digha Nikaya, they are the Samma Samadhi defined as the jhana. But if you consider the Dirghāgama book in the Chinese Agama book, that tradition, in that this Mahasatipatthana Sutta, now you know that the Chatusacca Pabbha, the Sacca Pabbha available in the what? Mahasatipatthana Sutta. There the Samma Samadhi is defined. If I have to tell you detail, say if you refer Majjhima Nikaya Satipatthana Sutta, it is short. And there again the Dhammanupassana has five sections, starting with Nissarana Pabbha, then Khandha Pabbha, then I think the Bojjhanga Pabbha, then the Ayatana Pabbha, ultimately the Satcha Pabbha, talking about the four noble truths. The Dirgha Nikaya Satipatthana Sutta. Now we are talking little technical, by the way. So the Dirgha Nikaya Satipatthana Sutta, everything is similar except the last one, where the Chatu Satcha, the Satcha Pabbha, is explained in detail. I am talking about the Pali Canon. In detail, there the explanation is given what is Dukkha Satcha, what is Samudaya Satcha, what is Nirodha Satcha, what is Magga Satcha. In a detailed explanation is given. In that detailed explanation available in Dirgha Nikaya Mahasatipatthana Sutta, now we have to define about the Magga Satcha. It is the Noble Eightfold Path. There the Samadhi is one factor. What is Samma Samadhi? Defined as 4 jhana. According to Venerable Analayo, so he has done an analysis between this the Dirgha Nikaya Mahasatipatthana Sutta and the corresponding Dirgha Agama book. That is the Chinese tradition, that Agama book. He has done an analysis. So there also the Mahasatipatthana Sutta is available, and when it comes to the Dhammanupassana, that Chatu Satcha Pabbha not available. So likewise some comparison is there. So therefore certain places which is explaining Samma Samadhi as the achievement of 4 jhana is a question. But as to the other hand, that I have referred that Mahachattalisaka Sutta, there Buddha is telling, okay, Samma Samadhi is the equilibrium of all other path factors, a well alignment of all other path factors. It is available everywhere. All the traditions, all the lineages. So in that sense, it is fairly acceptable. Okay, it's a kind of an equilibrium of mind, not as a such kind of a restriction, kind of a concentration in the mind. Rather, the mind become well balanced. So that is the definition given for Samma Samadhi in the Mahachattalisaka Sutta, and I like to believe that. Because so there, and another source I like to give you is one prominent or eminent teacher in now he actually passed away, eminent teacher in Thailand. So he's called Ajahn Buddhadasa. So Ajahn Buddhadasa coming from academic background as well as from the meditative background. So he has both capacities. Not only academic, he has the meditative abilities as well. And he categorically mentioned you should not go to deeper concentrations. I can give you that book also. So he categorically mentions you have to recognize the defilements. So that should be the main thing. So you have to reach certain amount of concentration, true. Not to a kind of a trance, not to a kind of a deeper concentration level where you can't recognize the defilements. So as a result of the influence of the jhana, as a result of the influence of the concentration, there's a major impact on defilements. In the sense, it is not uprooted, but subsided or suppressed. So that is one major disadvantage in the samatha practice, where when you are dealing with the jhana, as a result of the jhanic practice, the defilements are suppressed. But that doesn't mean they are uprooted. So that's why even the monks who are, diving, flying through the sky, after hearing a woman's song, they lost all the psychic powers. They descended to the ground. So you can understand. So all the jhanas are there. Flying on the sky is not an easy thing. It's not you are going by a helicopter, rather that one is traveling, as a meditative power. You need a huge amount of practice. Even one has achieved that by mastering jhana. So the problem is, even a woman's song can destroy your concentration, can destroy all your powers. And on the other hand, if you refer Venerable Devadatta, how he has tempted the prince Ajasatta. So Devadatta has used different psychic powers to tempt this prince Ajasatta. So he is convinced, okay, he's an achieved person, he's similar to Buddha. So, and the proposal is, okay, you kill your father and be the king, I'll kill the Buddha and be the Buddha. So you can understand the defilements are suppressed, though the concentration powers are there. So therefore, we have to use concentration, true. We have to develop concentration, true, but to some extent. So that's what I believe. So, to an extent where the phenomena are properly visible and you are able to maintain your attention on different phenomena for a considerable period of time, consistently for a considerable period of time, so that you can see those phenomena, their characteristics, their behavior properly, so that you can understand their true nature. So that is the important thing. So the Buddha's teaching, therefore, I feel is not talking much about the jhana, but talking more about the sammaditthi, samma sankappa, and those, the understanding part he has taught us. So that is also required. In order to have that understanding, also we need mindfulness. We need fair amount of concentration. Otherwise, we can't do it. So the mindfulness and concentration is a must. As a development of the mindfulness, you may get the concentration being developed, and when it is available, and you can put it to a different phenomena and see whether they are properly visible now. If not, you need to further refine them. You need to further sharpen them. Mindfulness has to be sharpened. The concentration has to be sharpened. The effort has to be well balanced. Then only the phenomena would be visible. When though they are properly visible, okay, it's a matter of further mastering it, developing it, so that the enough wisdom being developed. Now the interesting thing is, so when it comes to Vipassana kind of samadhi, rather than the mind being hindered, rather than mind being limited, restrained or constrained to a particular phenomena, so your mind being opened up, your mind being released, your mind being expanded. So the samadhi in the jhanic level and the samadhi in the vipassana level, in that sense, has a big difference. But anyway, arupa jhana still have the expansion. Arupa jhana are not limited, but rather it has a boundless nature. But that is available in the vipassana also, particularly the boundless nature. And even one can reach to a level where there is no object. No even object available, but the whole mind become open, what we call as a cheto vimutti, where the mind is liberated. It could be temporary, but mind is liberated. Mind has become limitless, no boundary. And again, it is not sort of very deep concentration either. That's another thing. So people have a tendency for deeper concentrations. That is one sort of a trait we have. So we think, okay, I have to go to a deeper concentration, so I can't hear sounds, I can't hear anything, I should not feel anything. So it's a kind of escapism. So you want to get rid of everything, you want to escape everything, I have to be in my cell, please don't disturb me. The kind of an escapism. But in the vipassana, so you are on the ground. Always you are quite vulnerable, you are quite open to situations. But internally you have to develop fair amount of wisdom so that you are not being wavered, you are not being shocked, you are not being sort of influenced by all these vicissitudes of the life. That is more difficult in a way. So rather than you going to a cell and expecting a deeper kind of concentrated state of mind. So you are developing wisdom, you understand the true nature of all different phenomena, and ultimately what happens is, even those different phenomena are there, mind remain calm. So that's the achievement the Buddha has taught us. As you can remember in the, say, Bahiya Sutta, Ditte ditta mattam bhavissati, sute sutta mattam bhavissati, mute mutta mattam bhavissati, viññāte viññāta mattam bhavissati. That doesn't mean that he is in a jhana. He is in the typical world. He may see things, but mind remain calm. He may hear things, but mind remain calm. He may smell, taste, touch things, but mind remain calm. Thoughts may come, but mind remain calm, uninvolved. That is more advanced. So that is the direction as far as we see, that we have to give more prominence or more attention how to reach such state. So you can't achieve that merely using a concentration. You need a fair amount of support coming from the wisdom, Vipassana knowledge, for you to achieve such kind of an understanding. So if you are able to have such kind of a state of mind, amidst all the difficulties, amidst all the obstacles, amidst all these different, sense impingements, still mind remain calm, uninvolved, undefiled, settled, tranquil. Then it's a fair achievement. Then it's a matter of maximizing it. It's a matter of enhancing it, furthering it. So then we can say you are recognizing various little defilements and cutting them off, fading them off. Ultimately, one may achieve the goals. So that is the kind of path that we like to propose. We are teaching as much as possible, and that's why we are not much promoting jhana. Yeah, you have a question. Is it your question? No.
It's not my question, but I was about to ask that particular question really. Because
Yeah.
then on that day also I was just thinking, in the sense like, is it someone need to target on jhanas when he is in the samadhi process? That's one
the thing.
question.
That's why now that is one interesting, I would say, proposal coming from Most Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw and the Sayadaw U Pandita. So what they are telling is, okay, neighborhood concentration is enough. So neighborhood concentration is the Upachara Samadhi. So Upachara Samadhi is fair enough for you to start Vipassana. It is not a must to go to jhana for you to start Vipassana. Interesting thing is, as you are continuing Vipassana, your faculties are further growing. It doesn't mean that you stop your samatha practice. And as you are growing Vipassana, furthering your samatha or whatever the tranquility, also developing. Basically the samatha indicates that tranquilization, calming down, relaxation. All that are available in Vipassana as well. Not immediately, but as you are growing, as you are maturing, all these things are available. Ultimately, you can't even, recognize which is samatha, which is Vipassana. Very beautifully, they both are blended like. They have blended together. Combined together, so that all the properties of the samatha as well as the support coming from wisdom are very much helping each other. Now, say for example, say you practice satipatthana. As a result of the practice, assume that you are reaching a level, as just we have discussed, where the sights are there, you even can see them, but your mind is silent. Sounds are there, you even hear them, but mind is silent. Smells, tastes, touches are there, tangibles are there. You even smell them, you even recognize them in the sense that you may feel them, but mind remain calm, tranquil, silent. Thoughts are coming and going, but mind is not disturbed, mind is silent. Kind of inner silence, inner stillness. So this is something more profound, and this is achievable. There are people who already have it, but they may not have the jhana. That's an interesting point. And there's another interesting sutta, you can refer, Susima Sutta. That's also in the Majjhima Nikaya. So this Susima is a wanderer. He is coming from a different tradition, And during that time, Buddha and the Sangha was flourishing. And at that time, wanderers didn't have enough requisites. Everybody is promoting the Buddha, promoting the Sangha. They are building monasteries, they are building kutis, they are supporting Buddha and the Sangha, but not to the other sects. So the Susima is a leader of one of such group, and now the other members are suggesting Susima, why don't we learn Buddha's teaching and then we also preach the same thing? Then people will start supporting us also. So you better ordain under the Buddha so that then you learn what he's talking. Now on those days, the internet is not available, books are not available. You have to reach the Buddha or the Sangha to learn, right? It's coming from the oral tradition. And you have to be there, you have to associate them in order to learn it. So the suggestion is, okay, Susima, you are the leader, you better go to the Buddha, learn from him, and later come to us, teach to us. Then we'll also tell the same thing. Then people will give us enough support. So that's the proposal. Then Susima accepted the proposal. He arrived, Venerable Ananda mentioned that I want to ordain under you. Venerable Ananda knows that he is coming from a different faith. Anyway, he took him to the Buddha. Bhante, when this Susima says that he wants to be a part of us, a member of the Sangha, would you accept him? Yes, why not? Ordain him. Typically, Buddha doesn't say like that. The typical tradition is when someone is coming from other tradition, he has to go through a sort of a probation. At least 4 months or 4 years kind of probation is there. So that's a kind of a thing that recognizing whether the guy is prepared for that. It's a genuine case. But anyway, here Buddha immediately say, okay, you ordain him. Now he became ordained. He's a monk now, Venerable Susima. And now he is going through various practices. He is learning as much as possible. And while going through that, he saw certain monks come to the Buddha and they say, Bhante, I am really thankful to you. Now I am an Arahant. And another monk also come to the Buddha and they are again saying, okay, Bhante, I am really thankful to you. I have achieved my goal. Done. I am an Arahant. Many monks are again and again coming to the Buddha and they are telling that. And Venerable Susima was a little, successful about doubtful about it. So he arrived one of those so-called Arahants. And he is asking, so you told the Buddha that you have accomplished your goal. So he may be silent or he may have accepted it. And he is asking, do you have Pubbē Nivāsānusati? The knowing about the past lives, all of your past lives? No, I don't have. Can you read others' minds? That Parachitta Vijnana Jnana? No, I don't have. Okay, do you know according to their karma how they are being born at different states? This Dibba Chakku Jnana? No, I don't have. Do you have fairly higher concentrations like Arupa Jhana? No, I don't have. How are you telling that you are an Arahant? Then he got to another person. He is giving the same, and when he sort of refute like that, so that Arahant is saying either you accept it or not, we are Panya Vimutto. We are liberated through wisdom. And then Venerable Susima went to another person, another monk, another Arahant, told the same thing. He also doesn't have any of those. And when he refute, that Arahant also say either you accept it or not, we are liberated through wisdom. Panya Vimutto Maya Susima. So now Susima was quite unhappy about the situation. Now he arrived the Buddha. And he reported the situation to the Buddha, everything, in the sense that I have went there, I have asked all these questions, they don't have any of these things, but they are saying Panya Vimutta, that they are liberated through wisdom. How can that be? And Buddha is telling, okay, either you accept it or not. Panya Vimutto those monks. Those monks are liberated through wisdom. Anyway, Buddha pointed out, before the Nibbana related jnana, related wisdom, you may achieve the Dhammattiti jnana. You may arrive the Dhamma. Susima was confused and he asked more explanation, and then Buddha mentioned him about the impermanence, unsatisfactoriness and all that. Series of questions, a long discourse, and ultimately Susima himself become an arahant. And now he, in front of the Buddha, he confessed everything. Bhante, please forgive me. I came to the Dhamma as a thief. I want to stall the Dhamma, but please forgive me. And Buddha is asking, do you have this, you have that? Pubbenivasanusati? None of them. He doesn't have anything, but he too is liberated through wisdom. So therefore the achievement of the arahanthood are twofold. One is called the Panyaya Mutta, the other one is called Ubato Bhagavimutta. The Panyaya Mutta is directly through the wisdom. One has recognized all the defilements, ultimately all, Raga Dosa Moha completely uprooted. Another one is, that is plus the jhana. That plus the jhanic attainments are there. So the both, the Magga Pala plus the jhanic attainments are there. So they are called the Ubato Bhagavimutta. So both are available in the Dhamma. So, the great arahants actually they had both. Say for example, Venerable Mahamoggallana, Venerable Sariputta and all those say. So the great arahants, most of them had, but many only the Panyaya Mutta.
In that case, is it correct to say that this samadhi is a process that can encompass all these stages, leaks?
Samadhi has to be an ongoing thing. Definitely. I mean, this discussion doesn't mean that I am looking down samadhi. Please don't get me wrong. So basically, samadhi is a must. So it's a, kind of vivid that your mind has to come to a level, everything should be clearly visible. No, the thing is now, when we arrive the meditation, so how is the state of our mind? It is very confused, isn't it? So it's not, whenever a particular thought is there, we can't vividly see it. Whenever you want to concentrate your attention to a particular feeling, for example, you can't keep it for a long time. You get distracted. And consistently for a long period of time, you can't see its evolution, its changes, its behavior, you can't see. So definitely you need samadhi. Definitely you need to develop samadhi. Definitely. And once you develop that, now it's a matter of using that and do the vipassana as much as possible. Then later, so all these phenomena should be visible. That's why Buddha repeatedly mentioned, vidita vedana upajjati, vidita upattanti, vidita abbattang gacchanti. So once you come to a certain level, without your knowledge, feelings can't come out. Feelings can't persist. Feelings can't go away. Everything has to happen under your purview, under your sort of awareness. So your mind is not distracted. So you can even see the mind. So what are the thoughts coming in? So if you get lustful thought, you should be aware of it. If you become angry, you should be aware of it. But before we practice, anger came and I was angry with him, I hit him, I blame him, done. So we couldn't recognize anger as anger, isn't it? So when we are developing the practicing, so we have to arrive to a state where whatever the defilements, whatever the thoughts, whatever these feelings, everything have to now quite visible to us. Everything is very much like transparent. So you can see everything. You can see things clearly. So that should be a very good balanced mind. So that's what I like, that definition available in the Mahachattarika Sutta. So it talking like this, where Sammaditthi is there, you know what is wholesome and what is unwholesome, all that proper view you have, proper sankappa, proper intention is there, okay, I need to abandon the unwholesome, I need to maybe develop the wholesome, and it also has to calm down, all that understanding. And your sila is there, samma vacha, samma kammanta, samma ajiva, the sila is there, that is established. On top of that, you are furthering your mindfulness, wisdom, etc. So with a well-balanced mind. So I feel that definition is quite acceptable than thinking a deep concentration. Every time you need to be in a deep concentration, it feel too much. Yeah. There's someone else also ask.
I'm sorry, Bhante, I can't. I have a leg problem.
Right.
Bhante was explaining about the second stage, that the thoughts are coming and the smell is coming, but you don't get it there. It's in when you are meditating or day-to-day life. Bhante was saying, meditating, even the thoughts comes, you don't go behind that. Even the smell comes, the sound comes, you hear, but you don't act for
That's
that.
the thing. At the beginning, you may come to that level only during your meditation session.
Yeah.
But it should not be limited to that.
Yeah.
Slowly, it has to be expanded. So your whole life has to be a kind of a meditation.
Yeah. Bhante was explaining two stages. One stage, first stage, you don't feel anything. You are like in a cave. You don't sound. That's a samadhi level. Is that the samadhi level?
Yeah. That we can say like that. So you are not accepting anything.
Yeah.
So mind you have sort of covered yourself. You have, how to say, constrained your senses.
Yes.
Something like that. So that is not the thing that as far as we say that we have to aim with, isn't it? So we have to be aware. We have to be well grounded. But at the same time, how about keeping the mind very pure? Isn't it?
Even
uninvolved and sort of undefiled. So if you refer another sutta, very interesting one is in Anguttara Nikaya Chakkanipata Sona Sutta. So he became an arahant, Sona. He wanted to disrobed. And later Buddha came and convinced him, okay, you need to balance all these faculties. Then Venerable Sona balanced the faculties, Virya Samatha. And then he has become an arahant. And now he wants to report what is the state of mind he has. And he's given very beautiful verses. Several verses are there. Selo yatha eka gano vatena na samirati. Evang rupa rasa saddha gandha passacha kevala. Ittha dhamma anitthacha nappa vedinta tadino. Titan chittang vipamuttang vayan chassanu passati. Very beautiful verse. So he says, Selo yatha eka gano vatena na samirati. Like a solid rock, not being wavered, not being hindered by huge wind coming from any direction. Selo yatha eka gano vatena na samirati. Evang rupa rasa saddha gandha passacha kevala. Likewise, the rupa, various sights, sounds, smells, tastes, tangibles, all these different impingements, sense impingements. Ittha dhamma anitthacha. That means either you like them, sort of likable, desirable ones, or completely, the undesirable ones. A sight could be a very beautiful sight as well as a frightening sight, isn't it? Sound could be a very pleasant sound as well as someone blaming you. So both sides are there. Ittha and anitta, both are there. Pleasing and completely vulnerable, completely unfavorable, painful type of things are there. Ittha dhamma anitthacha nappa vedenti tadino. He is unwavering, that is the thadi. He is the such one. Titan chittang, his mind remains calm, his mind is very stable, stopped, stilled. Titan chittang vipamuttang, and liberated. Vayanchasanupassati, he can see all these conditioned phenomena, how they are coming and going, arising and passing away. His mind remain unattached, uninvolved, still, undefiled, quite pure. He's an arahant.
Yes, Bhante, when we are meditating, for me, different time, different ways. Sometimes you don't feel anything. Sometimes, as Bhante says, the thoughts comes, I won't get in with that, the smell comes. There are two different, I don't know what are them, that's what I just asked. Different time, different come.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, that's the way, no? I mean, we can't expect everything the same to come. So different things may come. But irrespective of whether they are red or white or whatever the way,
sometimes
either likable or dislikable, but our mind has to have stability to either recognize them and let it go. So that we become more stable. The mind become more uninvolved, unattached, not grasping anything. So such state is more promoted.
Especially when you are coming for a retreat, these things for me very easily experience.
Correct.
If I do by myself,
difficult.
Don't
understood.
come.
Yeah, definitely. Like
so
that. Now say we are here, probably we can do it. Once we return, go back to your home. Difficult. Understood. But the development is that you are bringing the practice to your home as well. So that you are internalizing the practice. Not you are limiting only your skills only to here. Rather you have that now. Your practice is inculcated. You are being rooted. The practice being rooted. So that is where we feel, okay, now I am fairly developed. In the sense that it's not I have to come to Kalalgoda to achieve it. Even while traveling, I have that ability. While at home, I have that ability. While at office, I have that ability. Then we can say, okay, you are a fairly seasoned practitioner. So we can't immediately do that. Definitely not. I myself is not a perfect person. So I myself sometimes go ups and downs. So we are learning, that's why we have a lot to do.
Yes. Especially not only Kalalgoda go for a retreat, then
definitely.
Mind is very still. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So someone has aroused questions. Good. We only have 3 reports.
Avasaraya Swamin Wahansa. Particularly after Venerable Brahmali's visit, so I was also thinking about this balance of samadhi and sati, and from my experience on the practice, now if we take the sitting meditation, first we start off with an element of sati, otherwise we can't focus on the breath, etc., etc. And then the mind has its own behavioral pattern, and depending on the day and how the mind is behaving, it will go into whatever the states of calmness. And as practitioners, I don't think in practice we are able to exactly identify the levels unless we keep doing it and we ourselves sort of assume, okay, these probably are the stages, whether it be jhana or whatever.
What? Trija?
No, let's say we keep practicing, then we are able to ascertain that these are deep levels of calm. But actually, when you're within the 4 jhanas, the Rupavachara jhanas, when the sati is present, when there is some amount of balance, you focus and you go into observing the phenomena.
Observing the phenomena.
Yeah, Vipassana basically. But if at a time there is a bigger, greater tilt towards samadhi, and if your mind is more towards the jhanas, then you can shoot up into the Arupavachara jhana. That's my understanding, and I'm asking this question from that understanding. When you're within the first Rupavachara jhanas, and when you do Vipassana, you can understand the defilements and watch the defilements. But when you go beyond into the Arupavachara jhanas, there is no understanding. And as a result, there is no Vipassana practice that's just...
possible.
Yeah. Am I right in saying that? That's my question. There is no prajna development from 5 to 8.
No, not only 5 to 8. While you are there, very much like you being in a kind of a trance, you being like in a trapped.
Yes.
So you are being locked.
Yes.
So that's why as I just mentioned you can refer Salleka Sutta available in the Majjhima Nikaya. So Buddha accept that you have Ditta Dhamma Sukha while in a jhana. Okay, it's a very pleasant abiding. So you don't need to feel, say, what you call the defilements and hindrances, and it's a very pleasant abiding, blissful, very beautiful experience. And again, another advantage is that defilements are not growing also. So please don't think that they are growing. It's also not. That is also an interesting point highlighted in the Chula Vedalla Sutta, that Visakha is asking, all these pleasant, happy, pleasurable experiences, feelings, are they promoting the Raga Anusaya? Then Venerable Dhammadinna say, no. Only the, sense-related, the faculty-related, mundane kind of pleasurable activities, yes, they are promoting, when you are indulging, they are promoting the Raga Anusaya. But if your mind is uplifted to the jhanic level, we are in the jhana, so they are not promoting the anusayas, Raga Anusaya, Ditti Anusaya, Patiga Anusaya, none of them are promoted. That's a big advantage on the other hand. But unfortunately, the cutting off of the defilement, uprooting of the defilements, fading off of the defilements is also not happening. You are like very much in a happy state, that's it. That's why the Buddha talking it as a kind of a disadvantage. So don't misunderstand. So that's how Buddha mentioned it. Okay, don't misunderstand thinking that the salleka is happening. The uprooting, fading away, cutting off of defilements is happening while at jhana. No, it's a pleasant abiding, but salleka is not happening. The cutting off is not happening, and that is one thing. The other thing is, so now you can refer Salayatana Vibhanga Sutta, that is available in the Majjhima Nikaya again, very beautiful one. So another thing is, once you arrive the Vipassana practice, and where fairly the mind is liberated, fairly the mind being opened, is very close to Arupa Jhana. So that is where the Vipassana and Samatha become really blended. So that is why now that sutta talking about the abandoning of different forms of feelings. Say you have certain gratification, you have sensual desires and you gratify, and through that you get some kind of a satisfaction. But that is a kind of a mundane kind of happiness. So Buddha say, okay, you replace that mundane kind of happiness using your practice-related niramisa happiness, unworldly kind of happiness. Understood? Right? Okay, it's a kind of a replacement method. Okay, you abandon, keep back the mundane, sense-related, sensuality-based happiness, but now you have the very unworldly kind of niramisa happiness. Fair. And then the next step is, you may have certain domanassa while in the mundane level, but again you may have certain domanassa at the spiritual level. Say, I am not yet an arahant. It's a kind of a domanassa. I am not yet an sotapanna. It's a kind of a domanassa, but kind of a reasonable domanassa. So Buddha say, okay, now you replace those mundane, sensuality-related domanassa with this kind of a domanassa. So it's kind of a supramundane, spirituality-related domanassa you use to replace them. Now you're thinking on here. Later, you replace this domanassa also from the happiness. In the niramisa happiness. Now what you have? Only the niramisa happiness. There also, now we are coming to the upekha. Buddha say, okay, upekha is more fruitful or more advantageous, more beneficial than the somanassa. So you replace somanassa with the upekha. Equanimity. Equanimity is twofold. Now here we are talking of Vipassana equanimity. Not mere equanimity as a feeling. Kind of an equanimity that came through your understanding, through your practice. And that understanding, or rather that equanimity is twofold. Buddha say, upekha ekatta ekatta sita, upekha nanatta nanatta sita. Say like this, now you are practicing Satipatthana and you are able to arrive unattached state of mind, non-grasping state of mind while you are walking. True. Maybe while you are sitting. When you are hearing certain sounds, you can recognize their impermanent nature. Okay, through that also you can come to this unattached state. Maybe certain feelings are there, you are recognizing them arising, passing away, all that. You come to this. You may observe your mind arising and passing away of thoughts, all are gone. Again, you are coming to this state. So, different paths are available. Upekka, nanatta, nanatta sita. You achieve the same goal, but different paths are there. But when you are, practicing like that, so you come to this state again and again, you feel familiar with this. So this equanimity becomes more familiar to you, more accessible to you. Now why can't you jump to that quickly? Without going through all that A to Z, why can't you quickly go there? Now that is the next stage. So you are arriving the equanimity independent of the path, independent of all these different techniques. You reach the same result. So that result is Buddha defining with respect to arupa jhana. It is very similar to an arupa jhana, where you quickly there. You are simply there. You didn't come through this vipassana. Whole process is not necessary now because you are well established in the equanimity now. So that is deeply rooted in the mind now. So understanding is supporting you so that your mind being, uplifted to that level. Very much like an arupa jhana. So he promotes this now. Okay, now you be in the arupa jhana like this understanding. That is also not the end. And there, while being there, now you need to practice atammeta, not identification. How to be there without getting caught with any kind of identifying thoughts. Just be, not attached to anything, not become anyone, not attached with anything. Atammeta. That Ajahn Buddhadasa particularly talks about this atammeta also. It's a very deeper teaching of the Buddha, not giving much prominence, but it's a must for one to abandon the sakkaya ditthi and all those defilements. Because the atammeta means that so you become no one, basically. So you simply keep the mind unconditioned. You are not allowing it to get conditioned. So mind remains very calm, very relaxed, uncolored, unconditioned, not attached with anything. So it hasn't become anything. It hasn't become anyone. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. I mean, you can read that Salayatana Vibhanga Sutta. Really profound. So we can see ultimately it is very much like samatha. So we went through a complete vipassana path, ultimately achieved like samatha. So I mean, no point of talking like samatha, vipassana. So all are supporting each other. So I mean, it's very much like the kind of a rope. That rope has, assume it has two threads twined together. One supports the other.
Thank you. Thank you, Swami.
Yeah. Hope we can go to the next question. So please, I can't remember. I can't hear.
Time also passed.
Uh-huh.
May I ask
Can.
not?
Can.
I'm always confused with that anisita and avupadhyana. So last...
Can you increase the sound, Susita? Make sounds.
I am little bit always thinking about this anisita state and avupadhyana.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes I think I am in the avupadhyana.
Yeah, very similar, that's why.
Yeah, I think if I passed away, I was stuck somewhere.
Sorry?
If I passed away within
you are worried about that. Okay.
I think last time also I asked.
Yes.
Now I want to know, after that you explained just now, I can't remember the word you use.
Right, atammeta.
Yeah.
Atammeta.
I want
so
to know
about that. So that is where even this arupa jhana-like state, unattached state, we are not trying to identify with it. So that is the important thing. So it is, let it be, but I am not attached to it, I am not identifying with it as a person.
Right.
So you recognize how I-making happens, mind-making happens, how the comparison happens as you as an individual, another person as another individual. So how we do kind of a comparison, the mana arises, the conceit arises when we do that such kind of a comparison. So all that we need to recognize, all that, the defilements we need to recognize. It's a matter of cutting off the defilements. So this is a very rich ground for us to work against the defilements. So what we have achieved as an ungrasping state, anisita state, is a very rich ground, profound ground to cutting off the defilements. Understanding defilements and cutting them off or fading them, allowing them to pass away, rather than promoting them, rather than supporting them.
Okay, I want to know much about that. I mean, so I can see the things passing away.
Correct.
And sometimes I don't have time to examine that.
They are gone.
Fast. And most of the time without this state. So that's what mind meditation. Nothing doing.
Exactly. So till we have defilements, we have to see them and let them go. So ultimately one day it will go away. So till we have the defilements, they may come and bother me, but I should be aware. So you can refer many verses available in the Sutta Nipata. So that is the kind of practice that Buddha recommends. Let me... Tatha sato viharanto. No, not that. I'll give you some examples. So Buddha again and again mentioned, sato sampajano bhikkhu paribbaje. While keeping mindful and kind of penetrative wisdom, the bhikkhu, the monk, the practitioner is continuing his practice. Simple as that. It is not that you are become strenuous practitioner now, but you are in a very relaxed way, that you have given a rest to your heart, you have given a rest to your mind. It's in a restful way that the practice is evolving. Mind is not agitated now.
I am not sitting for meditation, but when I sit, I am watching when I sit.
Exactly, definitely.
Anywhere,
from the moment that you wake up, so you are meditating. So you are watching the mind. You are aware that what are the thoughts coming to the mind, how the defilements are, whether they are there. So you are aware of it. And where the mind get trapped in them, where I being fooled by them, or I am able to let them go rather than I being fooled by them, I being victimized to them. So that is the practice.
Anyway, then now the time is past. I will ask you tomorrow then.
Okay.
Please explain.
Yeah. Sure. I'll also get some more examples where the Sutta Nipata actually Buddha gives enough examples, encouraging the practitioner. You have to be utterly mindful. That is also not kind of effortful mindfulness. Rather, you are in a balanced way that you are mindful, but also recognizing various tanha, the craving and all that, and letting them go. The practice become more simple in a way. Not strenuous and more complicated. Now the practice become more available, possible. Isn't it? It is not that it's very far away and I have to go to the next Buddha Sasana to do it. Currently you are doing it. Right now, this moment. Yeah.
Report number 2. Most Venerable Bhante. At the start of my retreat practice, I tried to sense breath in and out at nostrils or at upper lip area, but couldn't. As such, I started to keep attention on rising and falling of the abdomen. Now I am able to continuously keep attention on rising and falling for about 10 to 15 minutes. Bhante, please advise me how to improve this as a Vipassana meditator.
Yeah, no problem. You just continue as what you are doing. It will gradually take you to Vipassana. Because at the moment it's maybe at the conceptual level, rising, falling, something like that. But more you become familiar with it, you can recognize more risings, more fallings, say 50 risings, 50 fallings, like that you are improving it, increasing it, and later see the subtle details of each rising, each falling. You are paying some close examination, careful attention. You are giving to each rising, each falling. There you are introducing the yoniso manasikara. You are not merely superficially that you are touching the rising and falling. Rather, you are trying to recognize what's really going on there. what is this exactly rising is? How rising starts? How is it feel right now? How it is fading away? After fading away, what I can feel? So likewise, you do a very careful investigation. That is, slowly you will take you to the Vipassana part.
Number 3, Most Venerable Bhante, much merit to you for the excellent sermon on perception, sanya, yesterday. Though we knew that the perception is compared to a mirage, your simple but profound explanation yesterday gave us much depth into the perception aggregate. We never realized that what we perceive has an impact on our lobha dosa moha. Looking forward to another insightful sermon on same topic during the evening session organized by the Servants of Buddha team. May you be well, healthy, free from suffering in order to guide us to walk through this Dhamma path.
Sadhu, sadhu. Okay, anyway, the sermon is at 4:30, so I'll be conducting it over there since I can't do it here. You can listen it, you can join it through the Zoom. Yeah, the sermon is at 4:30. Yeah. Okay, that's all for today. I hope there is no any other question, and thank you very much for your participation. Since we have different session in the afternoon, so in the evening, so there's a Punyanamodana for today's breakfast. Today's breakfast dana was offered by Nilan Herath and family. May all their good wishes come true, and may they be able to practice Dhamma and shorten the samsara. Then lunch dana was offered by Dishna Ranasinghe on account of her father, Mr. Ajit Ranasinghe's birthday. Wishing him good health and longevity. Wishes to her mother and all yogis practicing Dhamma to shorten their samsara. So those are the sharing of merits. We will recite the traditional verses at the end of the sermon.